Here we are again, back in the studio with another new band to introduce. This time, a killer metal band. Check out this clip.
Leviathan, drop the depths in me. Fill my soul with your majesty. Drown my fear, let the waters rise. In your abyss, I realize.
Oh yeah, nothing like a heavy groove to bang your head to, right? But before we meet our artist and reveal this killer song, my name is Tim and this is Discovering the Scene. In these types of videos, I will bring you the best rock and metal bands the radio wishes you didn't know about. And I hear you screaming, less you, more interview. Let's get to it. Today we have a very special guest in the studio. And what is your band name?
So I'm with Bound by Sanity. My name is Nick Barrett. I'm the lead singer. Um, but yeah, we've officially got the full band together now, and getting ready to start playing live shows, and yeah, it's gonna be a blast.
Who's in your band? Can you give names and what their
Yeah,
instrument is?
yeah. So there's me as the lead singer, and then we have Tyler Corrigan as our lead screamer. We have Chris Leonario. He's going to be one of our guitarists. There's also Steve Esty, who's our other guitarist. Um, Cadence Mitchell is going to be our bassist, and Logan Trimmer is our drummer, and then our keyboard player and special effects guy is Sammy Rustin.
Very cool. Not enough keyboardists in bands these days. Hard to find.
No, and I'm huge on keyboards. Like it ties everything together. It's like a little bit of the glue
Oh,
that's
yeah.
in the background.
Yeah, and it kind of helps everybody stay on time too because you have to work with a
Exactly.
metronome. The dreaded metronome.
Yeah, it's like a built-in click track.
That's right. That's right. So, where's the band based out of?
So we're based out of Sacramento, California. Um, so like originally, I'm from Carson City, Nevada, but moved here. God, when I was 19, I'm 34 now. But met the lead screamer and the drummer um, shortly after I moved here, and we got along and whatnot, and kind of always wanted to make music together, and now we're there.
How did this band come together?
So really, what it was is I have a huge passion for metal. Metal's been my thing since as far back as I can remember. I mean, I remember being like 8 or 9 years old and blasting, Metallica's Master of Puppets.
Oh,
Uh,
heck yeah. There you go.
Still one of my favorite albums of all time. But yeah, so I fell in love with it, and spent most of my free time learning how to play the guitar and things like that, and then learning the programming side of it, and then got into dubstep for a little bit, so learned a lot of the electronic side of things.
Mm.
um, and so once I got that aspect of it down and whatnot, um, started producing all original music and had a ton of fun with it. Then I came up with the idea that I was going to be a one-man band and do Bound by Sanity. So wrote a bunch of music, and then realized being a one-man band, you can't play live.
It's kind of hard to. Yeah.
So
You could
rounded
track.
up a bunch of really, really good musicians, and we decided, hey, we're gonna take this to the next level, and so now we're gonna start playing live shows and whatnot.
Good deal. And how long has the band been together?
Bound by Sanity as a whole has been around for about 2 years,
Okay.
but the whole band as a whole, with everyone in it, has been about 4 months, 5 months now.
Cool. Now, I don't know too much about the whole California music scene. I'm pretty sure it's pretty banging and all right there. So, how is the music scene looking right now? I know that Los Angeles seems to be burning down to the ground, unfortunately.
Yeah, Los Angeles does, which is super sad, and I feel for
Yeah.
everyone in Southern California. We're on the northern side of California.
Hmm.
Um, Typically, where most of the fires are every year is where we're at.
Right.
Um, but yeah, like the music scene here is pretty good. Once you establish a solid fan base, they're amazing. It's just breaking into that scene's a little bit harder than other places,
Hmm.
especially because Northern California, it's very clicky.
There's a lot of that going around.
Yeah, it's a little bit like metal elitist.
Mhm.
Like, oh, well, I don't like metalcore, I only like deathcore, or I only like gent, and with me, I mix a little bit of everything in there.
And what genre of metal do you fall into?
So for me, my absolute favorite is metalcore.
Metalcore.
There's nothing like good old Killswitch Engage, Bullet for My Valentine, things like that. But on the other side of it, I also love deathcore. I love gent.
Mhm.
Periphery is just amazing. I
Yeah.
absolutely love Periphery. Um, don't think I could ever play as well as them.
Yeah, they're pretty challenging, I will admit.
For me, it's just a little bit of everything. I have love for the whole metal genre as a whole.
Yeah, that's the thing about, metal players, it's like they really get, dialed into that genre, type naming, and, like, you get typecasted for that genre, it's hard to get in
Yeah.
or out, you know? I don't know why we do that to ourselves, but we do.
Yeah, I mean, look at Asking Alexandria. I mean, they started out as, quote unquote post-hardcore, and now they're mainstream rock. And, they gained new fans, but a lot of their fans also left because they're like, you're not the same band. And I'm like, they're still the same band. They're just changing their sound a little bit.
I understand it because, like, one of my favorite bands at the time was, In Flames, it was, like, an old Swedish metal band, and dude, I grew up with In Flames, and I was really big on the old stuff, like the Gesture Race, Colony,
Yeah.
Horacle album, stuff like that. And then when it went to, honestly, it's like when I forget what the name of the album was. I think it was right after Colony. It's just like to me, just I was so disappointed. I was like, man, this doesn't sound any good to me at all. And I was just like, oh, I was heartbroken. But I was fanboying big time, and I had to call that off.
Yeah, I
But
get it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the newer In Flames. I think their guitar riffs are absolutely amazing, but I mean, I have utmost respect for the old sound of In Flames because that
mhm.
that was beyond its time.
The newer stuff they just recently come out with is pretty cool, and I don't know if you know about the other band that, the guys that were In Flames and also, I believe, Dark Tranquillity kind of formed their own thing called the Halo Project or Halo something. I forget, I'll
No,
have to
I'll have
look it
to
up.
check that out.
Yeah, basically, it's the drummer, the, lead guitarist, and the bass player from In Flames, and then they got the singer from Dark Tranquillity, if I'm correct, but I it's pretty much all of old In Flames members and the singer from Dark Tranquillity,
Okay, so it's kind of like Guns N' Roses and Velvet Revolver.
pretty
You know,
much, yeah.
basically
Yeah,
the same band, just different singer.
yeah. Yeah. It's cool, man. But, yeah, I mean, both of them is really really good. I mean, the latest stuff that In Flames has definitely come out with has been more along the lines of their older stuff, and that's where my heart lies. But times change, and I'm kind of getting old. I'm like, get off my lawn.
I mean, the thing is metal's one of those genres that rapidly changes.
Hmm.
It's not like a slow change by any means. Um, you have your like standout sounds of that decade or whatnot, but there's constant innovation in it and changing of different things, and it's almost hard to keep up with at times.
Oh
So I
yeah.
mean, I understand it from a production standpoint at least.
Yeah, I've been kind of out of the whole band loop for a while as a performer, but I've been more into the follower type thing, and uh, just trying to grow personally and stuff like that. So I had to get away from it all for a while, but getting back into it, it's just like it's like everything just left where it was, like. And is somewhere totally different, and I don't even know where it is now. So I'm trying to get back on track here.
Right. And see, for me, it's like, I try to emulate some of the things that I grew up with, but make them more modern. So like one big thing that I remember growing up with, especially with like the 80s hair bands and things like that, there was a lot of themed albums.
Hmm.
Um, and so that was huge for me. So like the first album that I did with Bound by Sanity was all themed around, serial killers. Each song was a different serial killer. And
Right.
then this newest album, which in my opinion blows the original album out of the water, uh, that one, Doing the Devil's Work, it's all about different things about the devil, or the princes of hell and things like that. But there's also the paranormal aspect of it, and then there's also cryptids, which is also like a fun little spin-off of that. But it's all like
Hmm.
evil things, so to speak,
Yeah.
and it's super fun. Like, you know, looking back at albums you grew up with and going, okay, I really liked this about that album. Let me try to figure out how to incorporate that into what I'm doing here. And
Hmm.
it's almost like, a little homage you're paying, but it's only for yourself because not really everyone's going to catch that.
Right, right. It's a little Easter egg hunt for others, you know?
Yeah.
Let's talk about the songwriting. Are you the lead songwriter, or does the whole band kind of put into it?
So going forward, I'm still going to be the lead songwriter. Up to this point, I've written everything.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, going forward, I will be the lead songwriter. Um, and then as far as lyrics and everything, I'm still gonna take input from the band, and if there's a hey, this doesn't work, I'm still obviously gonna listen to them and everything.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, going forward, it's pretty much just gonna be me doing all the lyric writing and song structure and all that.
We're talking about this being a relatively new band. What's been like one of the biggest challenges of forming this band?
So by far the biggest challenge is already having everything pre-written. And so, the album comes out and they're just signed on to the band, and now they're having to learn basically a full album's worth of stuff without ever writing it. So
Right,
that's been the biggest hurdle, is like, Steve, one of the guitarists, he's trying to learn this song, and I'm like, hey, that's not entirely right, dude. It's this note right here, and he's like, I'm trying. It sounds right to me, and I was like, but I wrote it, so I'm like, I know that's not right.
right, right.
That's been the biggest hurdle. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's all coming together really smoothly. That and the other biggest hurdle is just getting the name out there.
Yeah.
Um, Promotion and whatnot with a band that is relatively new and unknown, and a market that's so heavily saturated.
Oh, dude.
It's it's hard to get people to recognize you without, like, shamelessly self-promoting to where, like, every post you see on every social media just dropping a link and walking away,
Mm.
and then you feel bad about it and you're like, oh my god, I just dropped like 50 links on 50 different people and I didn't even say hi.
Right. You want to get your name out there, you have to do things that's unfortunately, kind of bothers, may irritate people. Like, oh, the only thing I see from this guy is his band stuff. I'm like, well, you kind of signed up for that when you're his friend.
Right.
So the way I see it, that they got to be along for the ride, man.
Yeah, I mean, for me, music is life, and that's plain and simple there.
There's so many struggles like with getting a band known, and it's like the first couple years is like the make or break period. So, uh, you know, I want to try to do everything I can to get your name out there as well. And I hope this
I
platform is
appreciate that.
something for you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I worked really, really hard on this last album doing the devil's work.
It sounds like it. It's a
Put
good
my
album.
heart and soul to it. Um, and then, like, even with the album artwork and things like that, I tried to have a certain level of continuity, um, and a little piece of me in each little piece. So it's definitely definitely close to my heart.
Very good. What all social media are you guys on right now?
As far as social media goes, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We do have a Twitter. It's not really active. And then, as far as where you can find the music, we have basically anywhere: Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, you name it. We're on there. We went
Good
through
deal.
a distribution service. Our music is basically everywhere.
Very nice. What service was that?
So we use DistroKid.
I've heard very good things about them. How's it
Yeah.
working for you?
Really well, actually. They had a lot of really, really good resources for like playlisting on Spotify and things like that,
Hmm.
which was super helpful to get my name out there at first. Um, like with my first album, I ended up getting on, the Spotify algorithms and whatnot, and getting a bunch of plays. And the first album, within 2.5 months, hit 100,000 streams. um,
Wow.
just on Spotify. And this album has been out since January 3rd, and we're already almost at 30,000 streams.
Very nice, man. That's really good.
We're doing really, really well as far as like numbers wise, but I want to see that correlate to real fans.
Oh yeah. 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 I mean, it's so easy
But
to click on something and listen, but it's another thing to get people out of the seat, out of the comfort of their homes, especially in
right,
this post-COVID environment. Everybody wants to stay at home and be safe, and can't really blame people, but also money is a thing and it costs money to go out and do things, so
right. The goal is just to tour the country and play music. That's the ultimate goal. It's not to make a shit ton of money, not to get rich, anything like that. Just want to play my music for people and have them enjoy it.
there you go. Be good if that paid the bills too, right?
Oh, and if it pays the bills, I won't complain.
Good deal. So what's on the horizon for your band? Anything big coming?
We have quite a few different local places around here. Um, as soon as we give them the okay, ready to book us for shows. We have one place that as soon as we have our solid set list, we'll be there once a month. And then there is a few different record companies that we're talking to currently. Um, I'm not gonna give out names yet or anything,
No,
but
can't
yeah,
do that
there's
yet.
a few bigger names that we're talking to about signing with and getting a professionally recorded album because right now everything's recorded in my guest room. So
Right. Hey, I tell you, the home recordings, man, are starting to boom, and like, there's a lot of good quality coming out these days. I mean, it's really kind of putting a hurt on like the actual studio industry.
no, I'll agree with that. I've actually had quite a few people comment on the recording quality of this last album, um, for it being not from a professional recording studio,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and honestly, that's where the wonder of YouTube comes in. Like
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is a blessing and a curse, because I've basically learned to mix and master from YouTube,
Yeah.
and while it's amazing for me, that also just cut out someone else of a job. You know what I mean? So it, it's tough. I can see both sides of it.
But you got to think too. The bigger studios will always get that. It's the ones that's in the middle that kind of get hurt.
Right.
So the
You
guys that
either
are
got to be
really wanting to
top
make
notch
it.
or that home studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. And no shows on the horizon yet.
Not yet, not yet.
Okay.
So basically, we want to get our set list done 100% to where we are absolutely comfortable with it
Mm-hmm.
100%, and then once we have that, then we're going to start playing shows every weekend, if not like 3 times a week.
Yeah, I mean, come out on top, man, for sure.
Our thing is we want to come out swinging.
Yeah, yeah,
We
that's the way
don't
to
want
do
to
it.
just dip our toes in. We just want to come out full on swinging.
That's the way to do it. I couldn't agree better, man. That right there is good stuff. So tell me about the song that we're going to be debuting for you here.
So that is Sovereign of the Abyss.
Great song right there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so when I first started writing this album, it was gonna be basically just about the four princes of hell, and then the way that hell operates and all that. And then I ended up adding in Asmodeus and all these other different demons. And uh, but when I started writing Sovereign of the Abyss, originally it was called Leviathan's Grasp. Um, and then as I was writing it, I just started getting more in like this, almost like a lyrical loop in my head, and I was like, that's not fitting what I'm writing down.
Hmm.
So I ended up reworking the whole song into Sovereign of the Abyss and making it a little bit heavier than it originally was too, and almost to where like Leviathan was like the birth of the world, and he's like looked at as this horrible being that drowns sailors and whatnot, and really he's the one that birthed everything because the oceans are his domain. So it was definitely a one that I had many different versions of, and then ended up coming around to this version. And as soon as I finished it up, I was like, "This is it. This is the one."
Well, I guess now's a better time than any. How about we go ahead and debut that song?
Perfect, perfect.
All right, and here we go.
Where the currents rise, a sovereign stars, eternal land alive. Coiled wisdom in a liquid throne, a symphony of sacred flesh and bone. The soul stay in him, the ocean's decree, pulling me closer, setting me free. No prison, no walls, no iron bind, just the crushing weight of a boundless mind. Tidal whispers claw through my veins, a siren song in endless refrain. His cresting power floods my will, a kingdom's roar, a storm so still. Oh, Leviathan, drop the depths in me, fill my soul with your majesty. Drown my fear, let the waters rise. In your abyss I'll realize a realm of pressure, a fluid crown, where every breath can pull me down. Devour the air, let the void consume. I'll be reborn in your sunken womb. Fathoms hold more than light can show, treasures that only the fearless know. A labyrinth of scales, a cryptic map, he holds the key to where the stars collapse. Serpentine monarch, his gaze transcends, he triple bends where his power extends. An Ouroboros string, no end in sight, a time that swells with boundless might. Tidal whispers claw through my veins, a siren song in endless refrain. His cresting power floods my will, a kingdom's roar, a storm so still. Oh, Leviathan, drop the depths in me, fill my soul with your majesty. Drown my fear, let the waters rise. In your abyss I'll realize a realm of pressure, a fluid crown, where every breath can pull me down. Devour the air, let the void consume. I'll be reborn in your sunken womb. Into the maw I give my breath, a paradox where life meets death. No surface left, no air to claim, just the endless dance of his tidal flame. You call it drowning, I call it ascent, a baptism in pressure where kings relent. The ocean's pulse, his endless rain, in his embrace I shed my name. Rip me apart, rebuild my form, crush me beneath the ocean storm. Drown my fear, let the waters rise. Leviathan, drop the depths in me. Fill my soul with your majesty. Drown my fear, let the waters rise. In your abyss I'll realize a realm of pressure, a fluid drown, where every breath can pull me down. Devour the air, let the void consume. I'll be reborn in your sunken womb. Leviathan, drop the depths in me. Fill my soul with your majesty. Drown my fear, let the waters rise. In your abyss I'll realize a realm of pressure, a fluid drown, where every breath can pull me down. Devour the air, let the void consume. I'll be reborn in your sunken womb.
And we are back. Man, that is a fantastic track, dude. I was digging it.
Thank you.
Like the first time I heard the song, I was like, dude, I got to get this man on here. This is some good stuff. Yeah, dude. And I think others are going to appreciate it too, man. That's some killer stuff. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's definitely one of the really fun ones to where, it's equal screams and singing and it
Hmm.
still has the heaviness, but the prettiness in the chorus. It's just an all-around super fun song, and I love that one.
Yeah, dude. That's phenomenal, dude. I definitely enjoyed that. That was great. Yeah, keep up the great work, dude. You keep throwing songs like that right there out, man. You're gonna be going far. I promise you that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Can I offer a suggestion?
Of course, of course.
I think that song needs a radio edit.
Okay.
I say put it around the 4 minute mark. Maybe take out some of the stuff in the middle. Dude, that right there would
Right.
be radio friendly. Right there, it's good stuff.
Yeah,
Just a
that's not a bad
suggestion.
idea.
You can actually add it onto the end of your track too, or the end of your album.
Right, and then just release it as a radio edit.
Yeah, it'll get you some radio
Okay.
time.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea actually. I
Yeah,
might
man.
look into that.
Yeah, dude, it's a killer track, dude. I think if you shorten it up just a little bit, you get that thing on the radio. I think the 4 minute mark is probably about where you needed to have it. I think you can
Yeah,
get it there.
usually radio edits are around like 3.5, 4 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really gets to the point real quick, so you don't have to worry about too much there. But I think maybe the little bit of the stuff in the middle come out. I think you'd be good. I think you would.
Yeah, that's definitely not a bad idea.
Yeah, dude. Appreciate that. Thank you for taking some advice from a nobody like me. Let's do some fun questions. How about that? I usually
All
like
right.
ending with some fun questions. So, in your band, who's the biggest prankster of the band so far?
Oh, Tyler. Yeah, the vocalist.
Sounds like a
Yeah.
vocalist.
Yeah, he's a riot.
Okay. You share a
Yeah.
story with that?
Not really.
That good, huh?
uh, let's just say he's extremely high energy and a metalhead through and through.
Okay. Good deal. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. That'll be on the DVD, right?
Yeah, I mean, live you'll see some antics from him for sure.
Far as like songs that's not in your genre, do you have a guilty pleasure song or artist that you like to listen to for inspiration?
That's a tough one. Um, so there's a few. Um, I'll be the first to say I'm a Nickelback fan, 100%.
How many people just shut off the video? Come back, come back.
Right?
It's okay. It's okay. They're a good band, I think. I think.
Yeah, they are definitely a guilty pleasure for me, but,
Okay.
also, I'm a country fan too, so,
All
I
right,
mean,
that's good.
I listen to a little bit of everything, but deep down, I'm a metalhead.
Yeah, yeah, dude. I'm a metalhead too, but I used to play bluegrass banjo when I was in high school, man. I enjoyed that stuff.
There you go, yeah.
My token Tennessee story.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to learn how to play the steel guitar right now, so,
It's a good one, dude. Pick it up, do it, definitely. That'd be some cool stuff.
yeah, I mean, there's one track I'm working on right now. I'm trying to do, like, a blend of, like, post-hardcore style metal with country, so it's definitely a little different.
Hey, you got to have some different stuff in there, man. Got ebbs and flows, right?
Right?
Good
And if it doesn't
deal.
work, it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It can be on the B side, right?
There you go.
Now, if you could open for any current band, what would be your dream band to open for?
That is a good question. Probably just because of the energy that their crowd brings would either be Falling in Reverse or Slaughter to Prevail.
Both good bands.
Yeah. I mean,
Both
and I know they just went on a tour together, but I
hmm
mean, both bands separately attract this crowd, this energy from their crowd that is just top notch, and that would be so much fun to play for.
Oh, yeah. I think so, man. Now, on the same token, if a couple years down the line you guys got real big, and I hope that happens, let's ask what would be the dream bill for you, saying that these bands, all famous bands, will open for you.
Oh,
List three.
um, so obviously this is all make believe because I would
Right,
never allow them to open
right,
for
right.
me. But Avenged Sevenfold,
Okay,
um, Parkway Drive,
a good band.
and A Day to Remember.
All good bands. Heck yeah, man. Now, I have one final question for you. What what's some advice that you could give to inspire metal bands that's in your same genre to stay the course?
The main thing is don't get discouraged if someone leaves the band or there's not enough members or whatever. Just keep practicing what you're practicing. Keep your mind straight and narrow. Eventually things will line up. I think because I've been in what 7, 8, 9 bands now since I was like 15 years old, and one reason or another we all broke up, but that all led me to where I'm at now and have the drive to be where I'm at now. So I'm glad they didn't work out.
Hmm.
Would I have liked them to at the time? Yeah, obviously. But
Right, right.
looking back on it, I'm like, no, I'm so glad that didn't go anywhere because it would have stopped dead in its tracks like halfway. As
Yeah.
to where now I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, know what I'm doing, and having a lot more fun with it.
A lot of band breakups are almost like as bad as a relationship breakup because it's just
Oh
like
yeah.
you're basically married to these people. You depend
Yep.
on one another, and then one of the wheels falls off the wagon. It seems like everything busts and goes disarray. So
Yep.
yeah, it's kind of tough to stay positive in a situation like that, but you will dust off and get back on that horse, man. It's good.
Yep. And
Good
that's the
deal,
thing. You
man.
just got to stick with it.
Any last words for the audience? Anything they want that you want them to know or to wait on for you?
Check out our stuff. Stream us on Spotify, Pandora, YouTube, you name it. Um, Give us a shout out if you saw us here. Make sure you shoot us a message. Say you saw us at Discovering the Scene. Um, yeah, that's about it.
Good deal, man. And we're gonna go back to the main studio and finish this up. Oh, yeah. It's been a while since I've headbanged that hard. Oh, I think I'm gonna need neck surgery. Yikes. Anyhow, it's really good to see that Tennessee isn't hogging the entire local scene, Glory. We need some more stuff from you. Looking at you, other states. If you're an artist and you would like to share your music video with the world, hit me up. My contact info is down below. And if you like what we do here, please tap those like and subscribe buttons. Also ring that bell so you never miss a video. And with your support, we can finally get your basses those much needed bass lessons. I know that you only use those top 2 strings, but the others are important too. We believe in you. You've got this.